Radio London has a fashionista at the station. Now, Joe Good, as some of you know, Late Night Joe on a Friday and a Saturday night, is one of the most stylish presenters that I know. Whether it's late night or 3 a.m. in the morning, she is always looking stunning. Now, I realised earlier when I was doing some research on my next guest that she's worn designs by that guest. And oh my God, Adaku Parker is the owner of the award-winning African print brand Dovetailed, as worn by Joe Good. Adaku joins me in the studio now. Welcome to Sounds of the City.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
And not only are you in your splendour, and I love the colours and I love the designs. And one of the things that I've always wanted to know, do the designs mean something? I'm going to park that, and we might have to carry this over the news because I've got so much that I want to ask you.
Sure.
But congratulations.
Thank you.
You are on, I thought it was baby number 2.
Baby number 4.
Ooh, so you're ready?
Yes.
Oh, I absolutely love that. So let's go back, way back. Yeah. How do you go from being a barrister to a designer?
So I was on maternity leave from the bar, and I had a lot of time on my hands. And so I was just thinking about something other than going back to the bar. I was thinking about going back to the bar with a young child, what that would look like, whether there was something else I could do. Was this the perfect time, in fact, to think about or dream about what you really felt called to do?
Yeah.
And so, various things made the shortlist. I took a number of classes at Lewisham Adult Learning Centre in textiles, and it really went from there. This has not been a straight road. So how does one go from? Well, it's not a straight journey at all. I started out selling accessories, headbands and handbags at kind of local markets, and then started selling fabric. Really became quite well known for selling fabric, and designed sewing patterns. I've published 2 sewing books. Wow. And a lot has happened. But then I think creatively, whilst I loved selling fabric and I loved designing sewing patterns, I think creatively I really felt that I wanted more. And so that's when I decided. People also would say to me, oh, I don't really like sewing. I haven't got time to sew. I've got small children. I can't sew. I just want to buy the dress, Adaku. Can't I just buy the dress, Adaku? And so then I thought about starting a ready-to-wear range, and it really went from there. So this is over sort of 2016 when I took my first sewing class in September, right through to January 2023 when I launched the fashion brand.
Wow. I have to ask you, I had a friend that I went to school with, barrister, it's years of training.
Sure.
It's very expensive going to the bar, doing your pupillage, everything that involves. Did people around you think, why? Was everyone supportive?
I think mostly yes.
When you changed from barrister to really?
I think people that know me know that once I've set my mind to something, it will happen. Yeah. It just will happen because I'm just so determined and never say die, never give up, keep going. I mean, that's what the bar was. Okay. The bar wasn't a straight road either. The bar
Not
was
at
difficult
all for us to
get.
Yeah.
So I know what that looks like. Yeah. And I also know that you will succeed. Okay. You will persevere.
And you know what would be beautiful? It will never happen. But if you were people are at the bar and they were in fabric designed by you, but that will never happen. I know the answer, but I just want you to kind of, I suppose, crystallise it. You're finding your life right now satisfying?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
In what way?
It's the freedom that you get from running your own business, being able to have control over how you work, where you work, what you do, and also, bringing people in. And I have a team of 4, and it's great, every day I sense that everyone's just so excited about being part of this journey. Everyone can see, those who have joined and maybe have been with me a year or so, they can see how much has happened in just 1 year. In just 1 year. I mean, we're stocked in Liberty.
Wow.
And that came...
How did that come about?
That came on the back of being at a show, a Liberty buyer approaching me, saying they were interested in stocking some of my stuff and that they'd be in touch. Then they emailed, the rest is history. Last year, they placed 4 orders consecutively.
So just tell the listeners, I know what Dovetailed is about, but just tell us a bit more about Dovetailed.
Sure.
What is the brand about?
So Dovetailed is a clothing brand that specialises in African print fashion. For us, we really want to encourage and inspire women, particularly to add more colour to their wardrobes. Thank you. I'm so glad the water's here now.
So you're listening to me, Kim Davis, Sounds of the City, with Adaku, who is the founder. She looks absolutely beautiful of the African print Dovetailed. So you've done your swig of water.
Thank you. It's really important to us to encourage and inspire women to add colour and print to their wardrobes. Colour is known to boost mood, make us feel better. And for some reason, even when we're not at work, many of us choose to walk around in sort of dark grey, black, navy blue. And I do understand it's it's safe. No one's looking at you when you're dressing in that way. But there is, I'm always curious as to why we do what we do as human beings. It's interesting that as children, we all wore colour. Okay, every mother prides herself in dressing her daughter in pink, in blue, in red, in green, and lovely dresses. And then something happens between that stage of life and sort of the later stages in life where we say to ourselves, we're all grown up now. I'm not doing colour anymore because I'm grown up, or because red doesn't suit me, or pink doesn't suit me, or orange would never suit me. Oh, I love that, but I could never wear pink. But of course, you wore pink as a child. You loved pink as a child. So what's happened between that point and now that means that you no longer want to wear colour? So we really want to encourage women to wear more colour. But it's more than just a brand. It's more than just, a transaction as far as, the way we look at it. We also want to, do what we can with this business to just improve, I like to call my business a good life business. And when I say good life business, I mean that everyone that touches the brand feels good, whether they work for the company, whether they are our manufacturers, whatever role they play, customers, obviously, whatever part they play, however they engage or interact with our brand, they feel good. And that's really important to us.
African wax print. Tell me a little bit more about it. So I see it in Ridley Road Market in Dalston, right?
Yeah.
But is that the real thing? I've bought some in Gambia, and I think that was the real thing. But tell me a little bit more about African wax print.
I think the reason, it's a great question, and it's complicated because you have what you bought at Ridley Road Market, which is one thing. And then you'll have something that you might buy from Akosombo Textiles in Accra, which is slightly different. It will be a much better quality. But then you also have, what you bought, you said from the Gambia.
Yes.
Was that even wax print? I say that because it may have been. It may have been. We went to the market.
We came off the resort.
Yeah, it may have been. But of course, the thing is that, with African fabric, you have ashoke, you have kente,
right.
You have indigo dye. And so what I think sometimes happens is that everyone assumes that if it's African fabric, it's wax. And it isn't always, right? African fabric can be, especially the traditional African fabrics, are often hand woven.
Okay.
They're hand woven. They make long strips, right? Using silk threads, cotton threads, rayon threads. So it's quite complicated.
And the thing is, when you look at like weddings and everything, they will not necessarily wear the bright colours, the mixture. It's all the white. So tell me.
That's lace.
It's lace.
It's lace. So that's not wax print at all.
Okay.
It's lace.
Ooh.
Very expensive.
Ooh. Before we hit the news, I'm going to keep you because I've got a few more questions that I want to ask you. Now, do the designs on fabric ever mean anything? So, like, I can't... Circles at the moment of circles of khaki against a red background. But those circles, do they mean anything on what you're wearing now?
Sure. So... This fabric has different names in different countries, different African countries. So in Nigeria, you will hear it called Nsubra. Nsubra means water well. So it reflects or resembles a ripple of water that is made when a stone is dropped into a water well, river.
What about, is it the sort of same design, same fabric that men would have as well? Do you do stuff for men? Yes,
I don't do stuff for men. But certainly if you were doing your kind of traditional weddings where there's a lot of wax print worn by, the husband's friends, the bride's friends, the bride's parents will wear a different fabric. So yes, you would have a fabric like this. Every one of the groups, so let's say it's the husband's friends, every one in his party, the husband's, what do I mean? The groom's...
best men and all of that. Yeah.
Each one of them would have the same fabric and then they would make whatever they wanted to in that fabric. So no one would look the same.
Right.
But you'd identify, there's the groom's group, there's the... brides and they're the parents, etc.
And what I love as well are the head wraps. So when I'm having a bad hair day, and I've got a bad hair day at the moment, is the fact that I can just wrap it. I love that. And do you know what I love about the fact that you sort of mentioned your brand is open to anyone? Because I only knew about your brand from Jo Ann Good. And she said, Kim, do you think I could really wear this?
Yeah, sure.
Even though she was wearing it. Perfect. It is open to anyone, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I liken it to, I don't know, I was thinking about this not that long ago. I was thinking about Jo buying a hip-hop vinyl record, right?
Yeah.
Jo going to Coco's Nigerian restaurant in London, right? What would be wrong with that? Nothing. So why would there be anything wrong with her?
But there is absolutely nothing wrong. And as I said, she is the fashionista here on the station at BBC Radio London. But I think a lot of people will, or some people I should say, will think it's cultural appropriation. There's that naughty, dirty word. But as I said, I've seen her wear it. And as I said, I was like, oh my God, you look great. And then she explained to me, I don't know how you came across her or anything like that. Anyway, we're going to be more from you straight after the news. You're listening to me, Kim Davis, here in conversation with Adaku Parker. Adaku is a barrister turned designer. She is the face, the name, the talent behind Dovetailed. And I'm going to talk to her straight after the news. But I also want to know from you your best ever Bob Marley track, 0800 731 2000, or you can text 81333 and start your message with the word London. Your most favourite Bob Marley track. Is it Redemption Song? Is it Want Love? What say you? Sounds of the City, that's right, me, Kim Davis. The focus of the show is on community radio stations. In the last hour, I spoke to Kareem from The Beat London 103.6 FM. But I am carrying on a conversation that I have with a young lady in front of me. She goes by the name of Adaku Parker. She is the talent, the stunning talent, the designer behind Dovetailed London, an African print clothing brand who I was introduced to by the one fashionista that we have on the station who goes by the name of Jo Good. So, Adaku, let's talk about your vision board. What are your goals at the moment?
Ooh.
You got any?
That has thrown me. I do have.
Really? But you don't want to share?
Have.
Okay, shall I ask you then? If you don't want to share, it is something that you engage in, because I've never done it before.
Yeah, no, I do them all the time.
Really? So do you have swabs of fabric or pictures? Is that how you do it? What's your approach to it?
In fact, I do have a vision board, but I also have a gratitude journal.
Oh, I love that.
So every evening I write out everything that happened that day that I'm grateful for, or also anything that I would be grateful for if it happened as if it had already happened.
I love that. I started a journal while I was in Jamaica, and it felt like it was a diary. But if I'd approached it like gratitude, which I'm going to do, I love that.
Yeah.
Talking about writing, if you were writing your autobiography, what chapter are you now in your life? Look at me, don't look at me like that. Okay, where are you now in your journey?
Yeah,
then?
it's mid-journey.
Mid-journey?
Yeah, mid-journey.
Okay. And looking back, obviously you've mentioned Liberty, but looking back on your career, let's leave out the barrister thing, because we've done that. We conquered that. What are the highlights so far for you?
Oh, being here is amazing.
Oh, stop.
Amazing. It is. I was chosen as one of 100 best female entrepreneurs in the UK for this year.
Go there.
So that was great. Liberty obviously published 2 sewing books. Amazing.
I love that for you. And you have Baba number 4 coming.
Baba number 4 coming.
I love that. If anyone wants to look at your journey, your website, engage with you on the socials, where can they find you?
So our website is www.dovetaileded.co.uk. You can get 10% off your first online order when you sign up. And you'll also sort of hear about our latest collections, where we're going to be, what we're up to. We're also at Portobello Road Market every Saturday. So do come along and you can see all of our gorgeous creations for yourself. And thank you so much.
I should have asked, because we've talked about baby. Do you do baby clothes?
No. Don't do baby clothes.
I'm giving you an idea.
But book number 2 was sewing for children with African print fabric.
Bob Marley, what does he mean to you? Have you got a favourite Bob Marley track?
My favourite track is Redemption Song.
Okay.
And it's really hard to put into words. He was just a total legend, a genius. I would go so far as to say a prophet, actually.
That's come up quite a lot today.
Has it?
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I like
okay,
that.
So I'm not reaching there.
No, not at all.
So I would say those 3. Okay. Really,
One
for
of
me.
my all favourite tracks. Thank you, Adaku Parker, for joining me.